Hey Audrey! So thank you for making such a wonderful response to my video. I really enjoyed it. You made a bunch of good points. It's totally true that it's easier to accept character archetypes rather than fully blown people, because they're awfully complicated and kind of terrible. So since we've been discussing that, I thought it'd be interesting to go to the very basic level of character types and talk about the 4 temperaments. Yaha! So the basic idea of temperaments comes from this ancient idea of humorism. Humorism is this idea that all humans have 4 basic fluids inside of them, and any physical or psychological imbalance comes from an imbalance in these humors. The 4 of these are blood, black bile, yellow bile, and phlegm. So obviously there's no scientific truth in any of this, but each one of these fluids has characteristics that have had a huge effect on literature and media in general. So each humor translates into a different character type. Blood translates into the sanguine personality type, which is the cheery, passionate people person. Along with that comes some impulsiveness and being overly emotional. Yellow bile becomes a choleric person who's also good with people, but tends to be more about getting stuff done. And they know it, so they can be a bit full of themselves. Black bile translates into a melancholic person. They're also hardworking, but they're more introverted, so they may become detached or obsessive. Lastly is phlegm, which is the phlegmatic personality type, which means you're introverted but very loyal, although you can be a bit timid. See these character types everywhere. It is the classic 4-man band. It also translates very easily into other things, like the 4 elements, hair color, and of course, Hogwarts houses. So we clearly like the system. We really enjoy categorizing people into these 4 groups, including ourselves. But the basis of the system means that every person has all of these 4 fluids inside of them, just in varying amounts. And it kind of becomes a matter of which one is most important to you. So for example, I identify as a Ravenclaw, the melancholic character type. I don't even remember choosing that house. It just seems so obvious. And it's such a weirdly important part of my identity that I've never actually gotten a Pottermore because I can't stand the idea of being sorted into any other house other than Ravenclaw. Which is weird because I don't see anything wrong with the other houses. I mean, they all have great qualities. Hufflepuffs get to be weird and friendly, Gryffindors get to be brave and adventurous, Slytherins get to be evil. That's awesome. But it all comes down to priorities. If I had to choose one quality, it would be intelligence, every time. Besides, I'm not that people-oriented, I'm a total coward, and I'm just not villain material. So the houses kind of have to do more about your own values rather than what other people think of you, even though people really enjoy sorting everyone else into these houses. For example, Neville Longbottom is in Gryffindor, even though he doesn't really get to be a badass till the last book. But he values bravery so much that he got sorted into it. Same goes with Luna Lovegood, because she's freaking weird. But she doesn't care about being weird. She loves knowledge, so she's going to be in Ravenclaw. And Hermione's super smart, but she values bravery, so she's in Gryffindor. And famously, people like Snape and Slughorn aren't evil, but they're still in Slytherin. It's actually really interesting that Slytherin became the evil one out of the 4 humors, because there's nothing really inherently evil about being a people person who's task-oriented. That's just being useful. So Audrey, what Hogwarts house are you in? I know you don't actually care. That's okay. I will see you next video. Okay. Bye.